I got a 250 Mercury Pro XS. It's the Optimax, you know, it's got the lower unit on, the Torque Master lower unit, and everything's working great, but I have, it's time to change the fluid on the tilt and trim. See how it kind of so it works, but you can hear it like so. Last year I replaced this seal. You know, you gotta have a spanner wrench. You can see the difference between the other one and this one, but I replaced that seal because it was leaking. None of that's leaking. I don't have any leaks anywhere. Just needs the fluid changed. On this guy, you got a fill tube, right? And then over here, and I'm pointing right at it, is a vent tube. So, ideally what you want to do is when you put new fluid in it, you want to change out, I think there's an O-ring on that, and then I believe there's a seal on this. They're not leaking. I could still put the fluid in it, probably. I'll see if I have one of these gaskets. I might have a gasket. You know, we don't have anything leaking from, you know, like this seal or this seal or this seal. So all that's good. You know, you want to go over this, maybe, and just make sure there's no kind of abrasions or anything like that. And mine doesn't. Mine's in good shape. My motor's in good shape. So what you need to do is, you know, normally you've got a lock lever. It's right here, right? I don't know why mine's not on that, but it'll go, you know, up. I think they push in. Yeah, there you go. I don't use it, so, you know, it's kind of one of those things. But it would go up higher, and this would set on it and lock it. But unfortunately, mine is kind of messed up. It's not. This is all working. The problem is how it's mounted on the boat. So there's nothing wrong with that lock. It's really about this. So it's for my steering, right? You know, and that's fine. But this hose right here, because of how, you know, I have this jack plate and the engine, the height of it is it's not going to give me enough. I really put a lot of pressure on this, so I get it up as high as I can. Like I can come a little more, you know, right? But I'm going to have to support the lower unit, and I've got a engine lift. I can take some straps and support the lower unit, you know, the engine, support the engine. And then for like safety, I might get some blocks of wood and just kind of put it underneath it. Okay, you can see I got it supported. So I just got my lift, and I could put some wood under here if I was really worried about it. I have a drain pan, any kind of drain pan. I like this one, it's big. Put it where this can go there and that can go there. So, and then we'll open up this one first, and then we'll open up that one. And a really big screwdriver works best. So I've got this really long screwdriver, and I'm going to just open up this vent plug, which is there's a C-clip. There it goes. So you want to save your retaining clip. That should come out now. Oh yeah, she's under pressure. So don't do that. Relieve this one first so it relieves the pressure out of it. Yeah, pretty milky. Then you want to replace your O-ring, which I got some O-rings in there. I'll go ahead and do that. And so yeah, don't do that. So that dude squirted all the way over to here. And right here is our line. It's got a bunch of O-rings, but I don't have those that small. I'll have to get a kit because they definitely need to be replaced. So this is Super Tech, and it's power, trim, and tilt fluid. So we definitely have, you know, those O-rings leaking. So probably what I'll do is I'll order some seals for it. Wait a minute, I may have some. Hang on, before I do this, let me look and see if I got seals. Basically, I'm just fast forwarding here because I'm kind of just checking it out. Fill it with fluid and realize I really probably, in the end, I had to flush it. It was pretty bad. Previous leak, maybe. I just topped it off after I replaced that seal. So I didn't really flush it, and it was still sounding funny. And anyway, I went in and replaced the O-rings on the pressure relief fitting, and then I replaced the O-ring on that fill cap, and I'm just kind of keep squirting that in there. And another thing of this, I flushed it and discovered I had a leak. So it's on there's a plastic housing right here for the reservoir, and I took there's 4 bolts on each side. I took those out, but I only did that to kind of loosen it up so I could get to that back bolt, which is right. I don't know if you can even see it over here. It's over here. Let's see if we can get a better look at it. So you can see there's a, I don't even know if you can see it. There's a back bolt back there. It's kind of difficult to get to. You can get to it. You can take the pin out and drop it. And my pin is, I'm having a little problems with that. So in here, I've got the housing out. You'll lie on it. So there's the housing, and it's got an O-ring. That O-ring is shot. And then you got a gasket. So in the kit, I can see what they give you. We'll look, and that is not that one. But that's here's the gasket. So anyway, a new gasket go on like so, and so some of the bolts I took off, and what you want to do is put some thread blocker blue back on them when you put them in. Okay, so I'm just fast forwarding again through here. But basically, I put the reservoir cap back on after I changed the O-ring on it, and I was kind of trying to figure out some things that how to get to the bolts. So I probably should just show you, but I use a Coratch ratchet. I used an elbow extension, and I think there were 10mm bolts, and then I used a couple of just extensions, and then I also had a 10mm box wrench, and with that combination I didn't have to take the trim off, so I was able to get back to the bolts and get them in, and I had to also use a magnet. Well, here we go again. The simple job turned into a deal. This is the reservoir, and I replaced the O-ring because it was leaking out of the reservoir. After I flushed it, really, I might even flush it one more time. I don't know, because it was pretty bad in there. I mean, it's $4 a bottle, so if I get 4 bottles of it, that'll be. This O-ring is brand new, and I guess, well, I gotta figure out why, it's leaking. And, those bolts are kind of far back there, especially it's attached to a jack plate, so that jack plate, there's only a little bit of clearance. So this back bolt, which would be the back left corner, it's pretty hard to reach, and it's plastic, so you don't really want to go crazy. And that O-ring sits in a little, it's got a groove slot for it, so that really should take care of it. But the problem, I think, well, I know what the problem is. Okay, so it was leaking out of the front of here. It wasn't leaking in the back or the sides. It's leaking out of the front. And hopefully this shows up. But if I put my straight edge there, I mean, there's a little bit of, like, you see it there? See how there's kind of light, there's a little bit of a upward motion to it. So because that O-ring is right there, I couldn't make a gasket. Now I could try to maybe over here or something put some RTV, but I don't really know that I should do that, because then the O-ring is maybe not going to work properly, and it doesn't show a gasket. So I changed the, I guess move it over here, you can see me, but I changed the fluid in the big motor, the 250 Pro XS, for the power steer, the tilt trim, and anyway, it was leaking. I knew it was leaking, so I changed the O-ring, and she was still leaking. And so then I even made a gasket, because this thing is plastic. Here's I bought a new one, but it was plastic, and I was like, I didn't really want to spend $40, so I tried making a gasket even, and putting it on. I had it, I don't know, maybe I threw it away. Probably threw it away. Kind of got miffed at it, but it's just a plastic cap. So this is the old one, You know, it's like, anyway, I put the new one on. She's not leaking. So, you know, I tried to save 40 bucks, you know, I tried everything I could. So anyway, you 250 guys, you start getting a cap that's leaking, you're just gonna have to replace it. You know, I mean, they're like 40 bucks. I should have made them like cast aluminum so they wouldn't have warped or anything. And you know, if you're looking at it, kinda, I mean, you can see like it's kind of up because it's probably a poor design, because these probably flex in, and over time, I don't know, maybe it's out of round because of that, and so the O-ring wouldn't seal, probably, you know. But I mean, you know, after so many hours, you're probably gonna have to replace this, because you know it's probably gonna flex. I don't know. Seems pretty odd that this one failed. So anyway, it's kind of a terrible design, I think. It'd be better if you made them out of cast aluminum. It might cost a little more, but I bet they'd never leak. So that's one of those like, we'll make a plastic cap. And then later on they figure out they gotta sell a bunch of these. You know, if you're a conspiracy theorist, then you're probably thinking, well, they did that on purpose so that they could make money off of parts. Who knows what the real motive is there. Still, it's a good power trim. So anyway, in case you're wondering, there's the number 878-264-A1 cover kit reservoir. So it comes with a new plastic cap, and it's got an O-ring. It's a brand new O-ring. It's blue. Doesn't matter if it's blue or black or green or red or whatever color. That seems kind of would be a good question, you know. So anyway, throw that one in the trash. I just used the old drain plug. It was fine. I replaced the O-ring in it. So she's not leaking now, and that's good. Still probably need to check it. I ran it up and down a bunch, but get it out on the lake and run it. And then, you know, when I get it back, I tilt it up and maybe check the fluid in it. You know, force some of that air maybe out. And I don't know. Anyway, just thought I'd mention that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Subscribe. Do that. And there's all those social media things. I'm not on all of them, just because it's a lot of work. So if you like what I'm doing, or if it helps you, keep watching. I don't know what's next.